Bryan, Bradley, and Brandon were not typical brothers. They were actually best friends. They did everything together. They went everywhere together. You saw one, you saw them all. They're very sweet, kind, and caring. Very funny. They were gentle giants. All who knew them could only say nice words about the boys. They were really good kids, come from a very nice upbringing, the kind of kids a parent is real proud of. The boys were walking down the street one day, and they noticed a vehicle passing them up. Initially, they were not alarmed. I mean, why should they be? Within minutes, an array of gunshots spread in the air. Bryan Veal, the middle brother, was murdered on the corner of Washington and Loyola Avenue. Brandon was not injured. However, Bradley did receive 2 gunshot wounds. As to be expected, the brothers were hysterical on scene. According to the New Orleans Police Department, the brothers were out of control and they could not calm them down. So they simply took them to the station and detained them because they were hysterical over the loss of their brother. They were detained because they were on the scene going crazy because they just witnessed the brutal murder of their brother. Not to mention, Bradley was also injured. He was hit twice, and instead of giving him medical treatment, he was placed in a holding cell until their family arrived to get them. When NOPD was questioned about this, the only thing they could say was, the boys were hysterical and we could not contain them, so we took them in. The murder of Bryan was only the beginning of the nightmare for the Veal family. They had no clue that more violence was to come. On February 20th, there were 2 remaining Veal brothers went to the bank and they stopped to get something to eat. After that, they were supposed to go home to help their parents finalize the funeral arrangements for Bryan. Well, they never made it back home. 30-year-old Brandon and 21-year-old Bradley was killed in a barrage of bullets on the corner of Carondelet and 8th Street. They were killed within a mile from Bryan's murder, within the same week.
On Carondelet, a neighbor's Ring doorbell capturing the horrifying moments the brothers were ambushed. Neighbors say the gunman sprayed bullets and at least 30 to 40 shots were fired, 12 hitting this house.
I hope that they catch whoever did this, whoever shot those 3 boys in cold blood.
Vicky Booth heard the gunshots as she was getting out of her car and hid until it was safe to get out. She's heartbroken over the Veal family's loss.
No parent should ever have to bury a child. To bury all 3 of your children within a week of each other, that has to be just devastating.
The boy's mom unable to attend the funeral because her grief is too great. Ultimately, the inseparable trio laid to rest during a private service with heightened security. Family members sworn to secrecy to protect everyone there.
We just want closure. We want closure to this.
NOPD is not saying if the shootings are connected or if they have any suspects or leads. As we mentioned, Crime Stoppers is offering a $10,000 reward for anyone with information. We're told billboards will also be going up to generate leads and hopefully solve these murders.
These boys were gentle giants. I just want to debunk the whole idea about, African American men not taking care of their kids, and those boys were loved. They were not street kids. They were not castaways. They were not in that realm. And it's just like every other murder in the city. You think that they did somebody wrong. That's why they were murdered. And that's the perception that people have, when that's not the case yet.
And you're looking at 3 unarmed black men. If they were into something, right, especially if my brother was gunned down 1 week, and I'm coming out, I'm not coming out without being armed. If I'm into anything. These kids were unarmed.
How do I say goodbye to what we had.
A funeral for one within a week turned into a funeral for three, one that wasn't highly publicized out of fear.
We were very limited who we invited. I hired Jefferson Parish just to make sure that we didn't have any kind of incidents there. We sit here with you today knowing exactly what we knew back then. Nothing.
It's
What's
so
so
hard.
heartbreaking is it's been a year and a half since the Veal murders, and we have no answers, no motives, nothing. The sad thing is, just due to last week, New Orleans has been ranked the #1 murder capital in the United States, according to the Metropolitan Crime Commission. The MCC said that when comparing the number of homicides with the population, the homicide rate in New Orleans is significantly higher than any other American city. Homicides are up by 46% from the same time last year, and it's up 141% since 2019. The police department is running at a 50% capacity. There's not enough officers to man the streets or work cold cases. On the corner of Louisiana Avenue and Baronne Street in New Orleans, three faces look down from a billboard. They love their family and their family loved them dearly. They were each other's best friend, said Crime Stopper CEO Darlene Costanza. The faces on that billboard are of three brothers, Brandon, Bradley, and Bryan, who were murdered within a week of each other back in February of 2021. Their cases are unsolved. We will not give up until we find justice for the Veals. Crime Stoppers is offering a $10,000 reward for anyone with any information regarding the case. They can be reached at 504-822-1111. Let's put the story out there and get justice for the Veal brothers.